Hello everybody, welcome on in. How are we doing today? Happy Monday. Woohoo! Somehow I'm awake. We'll see if that keeps up. Welcome on in everybody. Hi. Hello. Valentine, how we doing? Ango, what's going on? Alex, Tweak, Frenchman, what's up? Kira, Phoenix, Lulu Goblin, Cello Kinko, hello. Lynx Pooch, Lefty Jason, Yield Envelope, Spoon, what's up? Pixel Pioneer, been working on a village before I get started in my city. Ooh, fun. Soph, how we doing?
Pleased to meet you.
Max, what's going on? Super Moon, thank you for the 4 months. Hope you're doing well today. Hades, what's up, my dude? Sub to you like 15 minutes ago. My first ever sub. RCKE. I don't know what you prefer to be called, but thank you so much, my dude. I really appreciate that. Thank you.
Pleased to meet you.
Jackson, what's going on? Tall, how we doing? Cat, what's up?
Are you
Vanilla
affected
Bean,
by
hello,
any
hello,
of the
hello.
recent fires out there? Keep up the great work and enjoy
Red Rabbit, thank you for the
_fWhip
13
heart.
months as a super fan. I really do appreciate that. Also, Ro with the 16 months
Pleased
before
to
stream
meet you.
started.
5 BE stream time.
Skate with the 38 months. Thank you. So far, no forest fire smoke has come in here yet. Fingers crossed it stays that way. I think it's like slowly coming in today. It's definitely getting more hazy outside, but it's not so much.
Pleased to meet you.
EP.
It's not so much in here yet. So far it's fine, but I definitely am watching the weather to see that forest fire smoke is unfortunately headed this way. So we'll see how that goes. But so far it's fine. Hilla, how we doing? Adam, what's going on? Skylar, hello. Don't know how my name is. I neither know how my name is pronounced. Something like Arky. Okay, I'll try and remember. Just got to see Spider-Man and a fWhip stream in the same day. Pencil, welcome on in. Yeah, we had a weekend. Speaking of doing things in the same day, we went. I finally saw the Odyssey. We went Saturday morning at 8:30 a.m. So early, dude. So absolutely early. It was so funny watching everybody, just like all of the people, just like full morning zombie status, just like going into the theater, and then you just get the blah, blah. And then I think one of my biggest problems with seeing movies in the theater is if you're seeing an R-rated movie, which I believe the Odyssey is that instant clues in to previews are allowed to be horror movies. And there's a preview that comes on before it for the movie Other Mommy. And it does not like start off as a horror movie. It doesn't give any warning. There was no like pop-up other than this is rated R. And it just goes
Pleased
from
to meet you.
normal conversation to
Been
instant
following for 4
scary
years
horror
now.
movie.
It has
And that
not always been easy, but
at
your vids
8:30
have
on a
always
Saturday
been a
morning,
happy
dude,
constant.
should
Things
not
are
be
going better
allowed.
right now. Thank you for the chill hang space in stream.
Ninja, thank you so much for the gift membership. Christian, thank you so much for 13 months. Been following for 4 years. Hey, I really appreciate you sticking around. Thank you so much. Glad you enjoy the content. But it was so rough, dude. I was like, ugh, I don't like this. And I look over my wife next to me. She's just like, I don't want to see this right now. Does it actually seem actually scary? I'd love to watch it if it is scary. I don't know. I don't do horror movies. So for me, I was like, yeah. In America are also so much forest fires. Yeah, there's unfortunately a lot of forest fires, especially Canada has been really rough. So far, Western Washington's been okay. Eastern Washington has been hit a bit, but so far we're fine here. But dude, it's just like such a creepy way of doing a horror movie. And just like that, I did not like the preview. So that's not on my go see movie list anymore. Not that it ever would have been, but and yeah, Sparrow, don't worry, we'll get to the castle. The Odyssey, I really liked it. It was good. I feel like the first like 30 minutes or so is that like necessary information that you need, but nothing really happens. But it was cool. It was good. I liked. I mean,
Like the
aesthetics of it
stream.
was all beautiful. The cinematography was fun, so I really enjoyed a lot of it. Are you talking about Other Mommy? Yeah, I'm not interested at all. That trailer, just right before the Odyssey, so rude, dude. So rude. Anyways, so we did that. Came home. We hung out back here at the house for a while. I worked on this week's video because I'm behind and I'm trying to get it going. And then we went to go see Ed Sheeran on Saturday night. He was here at concert in Seattle, and it was an absolute blast. I've seen him in concert once before, a long time ago, like 2013, long time ago. So it was really cool seeing him again, and it was such a fun show. So we had a lot of fun with that. And then last minute, my brother was going out of town, and he had extra tickets to go to the Mariners game on Sunday. So then we rallied and went to the Mariners game on Sunday, and it was just a weekend of do. And Friday night was family member's surprise birthday party. So like it was like Friday night event, Saturday morning event, Saturday night event, Sunday morning sleeping a little bit, because then midday to night was baseball game. It was a really good weekend. It was super fun. It was fun seeing Mariners actually win. Oh my god, I thought they were about to lose it, dude, when turned a 6-0 lead into a 6-6, and then they thankfully got a hit in the 7th, and oh my gosh, it was rough. But it was a good time. I got bobblehead too. We got there early enough to get bobbleheads. I put a picture. It's actually up there, but I'm too lazy to get up and go get it. But have you tried maple tree? Like building a maple tree in Minecraft? Do you go see Metallica? No. Were they in Seattle? I saw them a long time ago. I saw Metallica in concert back in, when would that have been? Probably 2009. It's been a long time. Jason, good luck for you and your wife on that. Good luck on the journey and all that comes with the next stages of life. Thomas, how we doing? Welcome on in. Yes, we're going to castles. Have you tried the new update yet? We're on 26.2, if that's what you mean by the new update. If you mean the 26.3 that's not fully released yet, I have not tried that yet, but we'll get to it when it releases. I've goofed around with it a little bit, like maybe 45 minutes, but that was about it.
Hype train. Count me.
So thank you so much for the biddies. Frenchman, thank you so much for the biddies. I appreciate y'all. Burb, I missed you. Thank you for the 30 months. Mila, thank you for the prime. Skylar, I think I got you, but thank you again for the 2 months. Maybe I didn't get you. I don't know. Thank you again. Do you watch the Backrooms? No, I don't really do anything spooky horror. It's not my vibe. Phasmophobia is about maxed out as I can do on scary levels. I don't do scaries. I'm not sure if they went to Seattle. Glad you enjoyed it and shared. He's really talented. Yeah. Oh, dude, he's so fun to watch in concert. Just the ability of one person to stand on a stage in the middle of an arena and just like have everybody just screaming and cheering for them. So cool.
Castles are good. Boil and mash 'em, stick 'em in a stew.
True. That's how you do it. That's how we do it. Frenchman, thank you for the biddies. Pooch, thank you for the biddies. I appreciate y'all. In my opinion, Backrooms was more funny than scary. Oh, okay. Yeah, okay. How do you update a world in a mod pack? You update all the mods and then you update the world. Make a backup before you do it. Otherwise, if anything is not working the same, it'll erase it all.
While eating a delicious pasta chicken kebab dinner fWhip.
Okay, showing off, Anima. All right, enjoy your pasta dinner. Thank you so much for the biddies. I appreciate you. Hello. Castle concrete block looking good. Yeah, it's getting there. Slowly. So today I do want to focus on this guy, and so we can kind of finish off the end here. So we've got castle to work on. Where is all my inventory pages for the city? I think, dude, I need to just like clear all this. The first 2 pages are stuff that I still use that are just like hotbars of textures and things, but oh my gosh, we'll just start working here, I guess. I don't know. I'm like, I don't want to erase these, but I will never use them, so I need to just erase them. Let's just erase everything in this tab. Actually, if I just hold this, can I? Aha, that does clear just the page. Okay, that's great. Now we can fill it all up with junk. Today's goal is to fully texture and detail out this castle that we have here. I like it a lot. Down here, we can focus on the lower section first. All my thingies disappeared, though. My annotations are gone. Where's my annotation? Or relogging. I want my annotations back. Ludicrous Love, thank you for the bits. There we go. That's what we want. So I'm thinking for this lower wall area that we have here, I have the brick already in there. I think we also want to do some mud and granite, and we can kind of copy that style, but we do have the walls in here for it, which is going to be interesting. So I'm almost thinking we can go for what we did up here, where there's some dead corals in it too, and a little bit of tuff. So we can grab the regular tuff, and then we can get dead coral. We'll go with tube coral, and then we can start to pepper this stuff in here.
Cha-ching!
It'd probably be smart to go through and like texture or just get all of the concrete turned into something for the yellow, but then that's, I don't know, we'll figure it out when we go. Ninja, thank you for the gift membership. I appreciate you. That collection at the end is a castle. Just thought it was a random assortment of houses. It's like a little fort castle thingy. It's supposed to be like a river fort. I'm calling it a castle because Minecrafters call everything that has walls a castle, so we're calling it a castle. But yeah, no, we're gonna do like a ballista up here. We might have like a little like siege contraption somewhere in here to be able to defend against the river. So we'll have some fun stuff coming up for it. Speaking of which, let's do the top actually first, because I want to see what it's going to look like. Because we're actually going to extend this out a block and give ourselves a little bit more space in here. And that'll work into there, because we want the slight touch of an overhang to this thing. And then if we do bam. Oh, I broke it. I broke everything. It's fine. We're going to do bam. And then we are going to lift this up. And then we can do this, and then I believe it is just a pressure plate on top, and then we do a little spruce slab on here, which is just the copy of everything else that we've done. And then we can just take this, clone, that'll work to there.
To block the access.
What about a chain that can be pulled? Yeah. We'll for the gate over there, there's the iron bars that are kind of just like up above for now. But yeah, I'm thinking we'll definitely have some sort of a mechanism probably on this wall to be able to open and close it. We just need to figure that out a little later. So I kind of was thinking, like, if we go copying the same way that we did before, they're here, but that means you can only really shoot there. So I feel like we probably want them to be angled this way,
20 months,
because it gives a little bit more
the content, especially creative streams.
Way to
Hope
shoot.
You have a great day, fWhip.
Just drop potato. Thank you for the 21 months, my guy. Really appreciate you. Thank you. Hope y'all are doing good today. YouTube friends, be sure to click the like button if you have not already. It helps me out a ton, so I really do appreciate it. Thank you. This guy's streams are really relaxing for me. Good. That's kind of point. Right here is going to be a little bit of a more interesting one, because we actually need to add our city and a signal tower for boats. Okay, what this is we are probably going to use some bulbs. I'm thinking we go with like bam, and we can have like a little system here. And based off of how many bulbs are lit, like if it's like, maybe if they're on, it just means people can leave. If they're off, it means like stay at home. So we need to have some way of like, I would actually love to see if we could do something that would be able to turn all of this on and off. I don't know how I can do that, because if I do here and a lever, that's only going to get the middle one. And actually, we'd want a button because that'd be boop. How would I get that? So that can turn on both.
I meant
we want just
across
two bolts?
THR River Lowell.
We meant to cross through. Oh, like here. Yeah, we did do, you mean something kind of like this. Ignore the house floating in the sky. That's not important right now. But you're meaning something like this. Okay. Yeah, we can look into that. I don't really want it up right now. I think I'd like it to be... Maybe we could just like have it look like it can do the thing, but we have it just kind of dangling down into the water. So it's like really, really low. I'm picking up what you're doing. I'm picking up what you're putting down. And we'll have it like hidden in here. But we're just going to use an iron bar. Okay, I like this. This can be like a fun little detail in here. I don't want to send it too low just in case it gets like way awkward. But something like that probably works. We might honestly need... I'm trying to think of how low our lowest boat goes. And I think it's that guy. And he's what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 blocks below the surface. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We're at like 8 here. Okay. Something like this. Oh, that's definitely gonna need to come up a little bit faster. So it actually would be at this height. Look at that there. Okay. Yeah, I like that. It's really subtle. You'll be able to see it more when the mud is at the bottom, but then it kind of disappears. That's a cool idea. I like that. I think up here, I would love for it to be 3. fWhip is ignoring all the message about the floating houses, though. I told you all to ignore the floating houses. Why are we on the floating house? The floating house is not important. Are you going to terraform under the water more? Yes. I want the entirety of the river. Actually, it's like the only stretch that still needs to be completed is here. But we need it to eventually look like our mud throughout here. I just have... It's one of those projects I haven't got into yet. But eventually I want to do that. We still have to like clean up these rocks because they're still just stone. All of that honestly hasn't even been done yet. I keep forgetting that this isn't done. Let me put a little marker over this real quick. Oh, hello. Too fast. There we go. That's my marker for, hey, dummy, you still got to do that. I think the reason I paused on this is because I wanted to do something more unique up here that would be like the entirety of this hilltop. And I love the idea of this nether portal being here. So I was thinking we could somehow utilize that into it, but I'm not too sure. Oh, I can put redstone under this. Okay, let's see. Start them all off. Oh, you're such a genius. Seth, thank you. I don't know if you said it first, but thank you, Seth. Yeah, perfect. Okay, so we need to make this look a little bit more fortified here for it actually to make sense that it hasn't really, you know, fallen over yet or anything. So I'm thinking we can kind of just give it like a little band in here. Never mind. We can't do the band in there. The redstone will goof all of that up. Just kidding. That's fine. Let's just throw a little wall right under it. That'll do it. That's definitely. I didn't, but thanks. It's well, you get credit, so it's. Maybe we do like a this. Or does that block the light too much from the front? I really don't want to, but we could just shelf the entire thing and just. Yeah, honestly, that's probably fine. And then at the bottom, where we have that guy coming in, we can just throw in a little bit of our brown stained glass. Honestly, he could just like come all the way down. It gives it a little bit more. Yeah, that works. Because the thing that we needed was that it had to be tall enough to be able to see it from the city, which it really might not be. The other option that we could look into for this, instead of the light as is, I mean, obviously it doesn't need to be realistically functional. That's not really a thing. It is Minecraft after all. Can you be deleted? You can be deleted. Oh, no, I need those over there still. But we could also have a little fire brazier of sorts that could also be like letting some smoke go into the sky for when it's on. We just have a campfire that gets lit. So we'll probably leave this side off. And then we just say it's like here, ready to go. Something like that, you know? Like when they're like, okay, you can leave the city. If you see smoke here, you're good to go. And then when the fire goes out, then it's... I'm new here. What mod is allowing the text markup? It's Axiom. Yeah, I think we'll do that, because then I kind of wish I could rig all that redstone up to also light that, but it's going to be fine without. Ooh, I never did extend this, so I think we're going to just change it up a little on this guy, and it's just going to be here. This isn't so much for defensive fortifications. This is more just for the tech. The tech of it all. So we'll just do this and... And then that can just be a wall on the corner. Okay. Back to our wall texturing now that we have that done. That should work for a little signal tower thing. It's got functional redstone behind it, so I like it. Back in here, we need to figure out how we can, you know, just texture a little bit of this junk. Isn't there a way to stop you from sliding with Axiom? What's the thing that like stops you from sliding? Flight direction, flight momentum. Let's turn flight momentum off. Yeah. Okay. Actually, let's turn it to like 50%. I should be able to just... Nope, I can't do that from in here. Never mind. I want to... No, I need to... I need to like get like right in the middle of this box. I really could just break the walls and place them back, but for some reason I want the challenge. I don't know what that reason is, but for some reason I do. We also have a ton of granite back at the base, or in storage right now, which is why I'm just filling this all in with granite for now, so it can just be our temporary block, and then we will change it up as we need to. Down here, though, I will just break these because, dude, I can't play with that. I need my flight momentum on. I know some people like to play without any amount of momentum, and I hate that it snaps you like around. I need that like clean. I don't have World Edit installed. This is downright painful to watch. It's fine. We're good now. We're good now. We fixed it. Everything's a-okay. Okay, now we can come back in and replace a lot of this granite because we don't need it anymore. That we put in there painfully. We can, nope, screwed that one up. We can do this, and then bam, 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 bam. And then just a whittle bit in here, maybe. Up above this point, I am thinking it's mostly going to be our mud. This being brick in here to begin with, even, I think is probably just not the best idea, but it's fine. It is what it is. It's okay. We can make it work. Do you know of any way to load and unload villagers so you can transport them with happy gas? Yeah, put them in boats. Put the villager in a boat, and then click a lead on the boat, and then shift click the lead on the happy gas, and it should turn them into a hot air balloon. We can get a little bit of our regular packed mud in here too. Now that we're up above, we don't need it to all be the brick. I think the regular packed mud goes into granite better than the brick does, so try and keep that in line. It's pretty messy looking, but I kind of like the aged look that we have here, so I think we'll leave that as is. Yeah, that actually looks pretty cool. I like that a lot. There's 1.4K viewers on YouTube. Yeah, and there's 324 likes. Click that like button. Woo! Thank you. That's my nose. Why are you looking at my nose like that? Don't be weird. That's my nose. Okay, here we need to expand this again because it's going to come all the way around here. And that is going to bam, 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 bam. And then we'll just kind of have it merging back down into the other thing. Would brick to polished granite work better? I really don't like the tiled look you get off of using polished granites. I only use them in very, very specific scenarios, like this wall here where I specifically want that chiseled look. But when you add that polished stuff into texturing like this, I think it looks very, very artificial. I'm not a big fan of it. You're upside down. Bam, 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 bam. Pressure plate. Cool. Oh, we got this little section in here that still needs to be done. I wasn't planning to continue this up here. I was kind of honestly wanting to move it to being gray. Or like some stones or something. But we could kind of work that in off of the edges, I guess. Honestly, just being like tough up here could be a decent shout. Probably it'll look pretty nice, and we can just texture it with some other things real quick once we get all of this in for the yellow. I think we could have a little chiseled tough brick right here. Wha-bam and wha-bam. Okay, that's looking decent. That needs to be hidden very quickly because that's very ugly looking. And we can just do the perfect hiding job of barrel. Nobody's gonna know. And this is probably gonna be a little lantern, to be honest, just like that. Give ourselves some light up here. Okay, so now that we need to texture the top of this, we can just throw in some mossy cobblestone, some pale moss, maybe some mossy stone brick. And we can throw in some tough brick too, because I still have like 8 shulker boxes of tough brick just lying around. So we can just use this. Just teeny tiny amounts of our mossy cobblestone though. Is this for a schematic for the hardcore world? Yeah, eventually this will get into the hardcore world. Yeah, most of my city building, honestly, most of my building nowadays is all done schematic first, just because I've realized for me as a Minecrafter, I have the most fun playing this game when I can design in creative and then figure out how to put that into survival later. So I gotta have all the fun of the resource gathering and doing all that and turn brain off time for those types of things, and then I can also have all of the fun of turn brain on, don't worry about any limitations, just design and creative and make something really, really cool. So I have fun with as many parts of Minecraft as I possibly can. So this does bring us to one of those parts, and so I really like playing this way. Love from Australia. Welcome on in, Posh. Can you help me plan a castle? Make big box, intersect with another big box, another little box, and then extend big box out with another little box. Add towers on 2 corners. Add roadway going through there. Another box. Castle. Castle. We need to make a little trebuchet of sorts or something in here. I want to make something that looks like it could be like shooting rocks going down that way. How can we do this? We need something that looks like it can pivot. And that we want to probably move this way to here, so it has as much pivot range on that back end as we can give it. Deep slate can be our middle element here, and I'm just gonna have it like facing that way for now, as if it's not really working. What do we want? We probably want a chain. Honestly, we might use exposed copper because it can look a little bit more like a rope. A scorpion would be sweet. Yeah, we'll see if we can do a scorpion farther. Kind of want to... Let's design this guy first. We'll see what he looks like, and then we can... I also want another thing in here. So a scorpion could be cool, and we could redesign this wall to like have space for the scorpion to shoot out of. So we could do that, because this guy can be here, and people can still kind of be like right in front of it. Boo, 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 boo. You know, doing the thing while it's firing over their heads. Let's grab ourselves some spruce shelf, spruce plank for just the blocking out, fence gates, brown stained glass, spruce fence, and a mud brick wall. And we need to make a little basket back in here. Ooh, there's gonna be a lot of materials going into this. So we're thinking here, that's probably like a boom. A boom, a boom, and then like, honestly, it might be basket here that can fire. So it's just like, it's just a wee little guy. It's just a little guy. I don't know what we're doing. It's fine. It's totally fine. I don't think we'll use glass probably. And then we need to definitely get like a... This is where baby chicken technology might honestly come into play. Because I would love to have like a lead or something that's like snapped back into here. What happened to all the civilizations, your world being peaceful? Hey, just because you're peaceful doesn't mean you don't potentially need to defend yourself. Coal block in the basket. Well, we have fiery projectiles. Got it. Oh yeah, llamas can... I believe llamas can attack you in peaceful mode. I feel like that's actually kind of legit. Let's go to Pinterest. Let's see what we got. Some people are so good at making Minecraft like siege engines. Minecraft catapult. Let's see. Does anybody have a tiny design for one? No, these are all freaking gigantic. Bro, has anybody tried making one that's under 20 blocks tall? Minecraft. Well, it wouldn't be hot if it's... The coals wouldn't be hot if it's just sitting here. That would mean that it would probably be burning something down, which you don't want. Oh, I thought this one was so cool. That's so AI. Ugh. Oh, here's a legit version for a little scorpion. Hold up. Wait a minute. Oh, this is full. Oh, that's command blocked. That's command blocked to no end. But look at this thing. I think we can make a not command block. That's data or whatever. Debug sticked. All the rails and things are very debug stick. But I think we could take inspo off of this guy and see if we can make up something that's our own. So we'll try that. Because I think something like that could fit in here. We'll just make a little slightly smaller version of it. But the signs, honestly, off that. Spruce. We had brought these in. We could just say that, like, it doesn't connect. I think we'll just do this. I think that is about as good as I can do for a trebuchet that's 3 blocks wide and 5 blocks long. Yeah, a scorpion is basically a ballista, but it's on wheels, is how I understand it. So we're gonna try and just make a ballista of sorts. Okay, for our next siege weapon, we are going to clear out this, and then it's just gonna be like facing that way for now. I like this base that the inspo has, where it's just lifted up on a blast furnace. Our problem might run into that, so we might have to slide him here, and then he could angle that way. So we'll just get rid of all of the walls there. We don't need them. They don't need to be there anyways. But I like what they did with the base to pivot around on being that whole thing. It's pretty cool. I use a dropper. We can save. We can save a bit. Let's have it facing this way so it at least can get it to fit. And then they did bam, and then it'd be bam, bam. We're probably gonna have to limit ourselves to this wide. Honestly, I might just... Oh, geez, hello. Oh, hello. I thought I was landing. So they did something like this, and basically just kind of sent it. Then we need to get the actual bow shape to it that can make it look like it's connected in here. Which, oh, I meant to middle mouse click that, not break that. But they did a little like this guy. I don't know if I feel about the coral in the front, but if we did maybe instead like a polished blackstone button right here. Looks like an arrow maybe is sticking out of it. The rails aren't debug sticks, to put them in a 2x2 and break the ones off that you don't want. Really? That can work even to get a corner rail? For real? For realsy? Oh, I didn't realize you could do that. I wonder if I could... I think I can. I think we can get a little fancy with it. Ish. So fancy. Wow, we're so fancy. Look at that. Lightning rod. I'll do it that way. Oh, that's funny. I don't know why that's good. That's so funny. So I can have like a little shield to the front of it, maybe. And then I think that could be a little bit wider there. Looks like a plunger. A little bit, yeah. I would love for this to be raised up. I know it's probably not realistic, like it'd probably be coming back down, but I kind of like the idea that it's just like raised up instead, and this is used to like pivot the thing. But then these cranks would have to be like up there. Like realistically, the rope would not be stretching up that way. So suspension of disbelief. It is Minecraft. All right, let's move him a little bit. Can I pick up all of my things without picking up anything else? I can. Woo! Honestly, I think he's just gonna sit like right here. And then these guys can just be like a so. And they're just going to be like right there. So realistically, he'd be diagonal over this, but we just can't do that in Minecraft.
Your streams always help me wind down after a long day. Thank you for being a positive part of my day. I may not be in the streams as much because of the time difference, as I am going to China for an internship next month. Fingers crossed.
Oh. Fingers crossed your VPN works. Good luck on the internship. Good luck, good luck, good luck. Yeah, we can't place a lever on top of this, unfortunately. I do wish you could place like a lever this way, but it's like horizontal instead of vertical. That would be really cool for detailing. It wouldn't look this goofy. It was a plank instead of a dropper. What if we did like a stripped spruce log? Yeah, I think that's a bit better. Yeah, good call on switching that. Cool. Maybe use diorite slabs to show more of the build. Honestly, instead of that, we just say like a little bit of this, like aged. Kind of like it. You just got two little siege weapons just sitting up there along the edge. That's so funny looking. Okay. I think now we need to deal with texturing this, where I want to continue our road so we can clear out what we have in here. Honestly, it's just going to be a lot of packed mud, probably. Just to get those browns in the courtyard that we would want. We'll have a little dirt along the edges. And then we'll get a little bit of our mossy cobblestone. And then, yeah, that can work. What's the lore of this castle? The main point behind this castle here is that it is here to defend the waterways. So this is the only access point into the main harbor of the entirety of Path. And for that, you have to go all the way up the river and out and all the way blah, 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 blah. So we're going to have an entry point that will probably be another fortress of sorts out here. And the idea is that they would have to, I don't know why my clouds are doing this, but they would have to make it all the way around here. And so if that fort gets burned down, they'd be able to notify this fortress here inside the city of, hey, we are under siege, incoming attack, get ready. And so this is kind of last line of defense to protect the harbor and the city. And it also adds a little bit more context to why the city wall doesn't continue along this way. Because we kind of goofed up when originally planning the city, and I couldn't really fix it by just dragging a wall across here without having to tear down probably 3 or 4 buildings. So we tried to fix that a little bit with these little harbor gates right here and right here that we did fairly recently, and a little wall extension right there. But then the main fix for it is going to be, is unless people are coming over the mountain, they'd have to get past this fortress that we're working on. So that's kind of the main reason why it's here in the lore. Those are story mode clouds for atmospherics mod. Oh, speaking of which, I had a thing I wanted to try out today. I downloaded it. Where is it? Oh, did I not download it yet? I found a cool texture pack I wanted to try. Let me get it real quick. It only goes for... Let's see. It says it doesn't work on 26.2, but we'll see. There's this texture pack that I found recently called Light Leak. I'm curious if it's going to work. It might break everything. But I wanted to try it out because it looks kind of cool. So what it does... Oh, it fully changes the model of lanterns. Ew, not a fan of that. I like my old lanterns more. But you can see that it adds these little, like, transparent bits coming off of light sources. I think it's more for a screenshot thing than a gameplay thing, if I had to guess now that I'm actually seeing it here. Oh, ew. 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 What is this pack doing? What did this pack do to all my stuff? Ew, this texture pack sucks. But you can see like a little... Yeah, it's kind of broken in this latest version. Okay. Never mind. Don't use that. At least on the latest version. So that pack looks kind of sick. Yeah, I wish it was like this with like glowing off of those, not like changing the model of them. I don't like that. Why does that change smokers when it says it's changing light levels? Or light blocks? Never mind. Okay, so. Let's grab some light gray terracotta. Let's grab some drippy stones. We got our packed mud. We got our mud brick. We are going to need a little window in here, probably, where I think on this, we're just going to go ahead and grab some of our polished granite stairs. We're going to bam, bam. And we're going to have another one as a bam, bam. And there's this building is going to be just a tower. That's going to be a little bit more simply done with some dripstone and some mud brick. And then that's just going to send it all the way to the top. And then we can maybe get a little tiny bit of dirt and coarse dirt, which we can do just here in the corners to show it's kind of got some grime maybe coming down it. And then I also want to grab, not mud, mush. We need our mush, our brown mush block. And this will just carry all the way down here. And that already will complete our first little baby tower, because it doesn't need to have anything too crazy on it. But what we can do, just to give a little bit of extra strength to it, is we can come around here and just literally just add buttons. And that kind of helps. And we get a little face. Look at him. He's like, ooh. He's pogging, dude. The tower's pogging. He's going, ooh. I'm leaving it. I'm definitely leaving that. It's probably because the lit smoker emits light. Yeah, true. Or it's like a penguin almost. It looks more penguin faced than anything. All right.
Pleased to meet you.
Let's go, almost a new tree. Hope you all enjoying your Monday. Heart suit emoji, blue heart emoji.
I don't know why my notification... Oh, no, it did just pop up. Bossa, thank you for the 11 months on YouTube, my dude. I really appreciate you. Hope you're doing well today. Boop. A spot they can look out from up there. Tower looks like a chicken. You look like a chicken. Don't you say my tower looks like a chicken? Come on. No, I'm just kidding. It kind of does. It's got a little chicken. It's got chicken elements to it for sure. It's fine. It's totally fine. It's totally fine. Kind of want to try this. I don't know what I want to do for texturing the big boy yet. I kind of like the idea of keeping that brown and matching the color palette that we use up here. Honestly, I think that's what we'll go for, is we're going to match the Foliage University color palette. So we have a lot of our browns and our reds, and then we have tough as like supporting elements almost. So we need to keep that in mind. For example, we could take tough just across here and have it be at just this layer. Just to give that a little bit more context. This guy would have a floor there, so he can have a little window up there, maybe, that we can just throw in with a grate. This guy is going to have a door here, so we'll say window, window, grate, grate. You can have a single window there, so you, because we want to be able to see in and out. I'm gonna go window. And that can also be a window. Shelf and mangrove door. Boom, boom. Boom, boom. Building. Kind of reminds me of a cartoon character. Can't remember the name of it though. It's kind of giving like a little like...
Pleased to meet you.
How would I do this? It's kind of giving like that face. Kind of like that, yeah. Lulu, thanks so much for the tier 2 membership. Woo! To me, it kind of reminds me of a... Oh, I just read that. What do we want to do for this? Probably, honestly... Terracotta! Please and thank you. We don't want any wooden elements in here for the walls unless we're just using a little bit of wood to help texture it, because otherwise it's going to make it look very, very flammable and weak, and we don't want to be flammable or weak. This is to defend the city. I don't know why, but I kind of want to try. Don't really hate that. Looks kind of nice. Might be better to have him like opening sideways though. Yeah, we'll leave that. Also, by the way, when I said we're not going to have any wooden elements, I'm taking that back right now. In the top half of this one, everywhere above this brick on this building is going to be a wooden element. And you're going to like it.
Pleased to meet you.
10 times 3. Wow.
Landers, thank you so much for the 30 months. I appreciate you.
For real.
Hi fWhip, are you happy with the poll results?
Oh, dude, I haven't even looked at the poll results yet. I mean, yeah, I figured my community would love them some villages. I think the thing that, you know, is not so happy about the poll results is there's 900 votes and there's not even 500 likes on the channel. Half of you click the poll, but you didn't click the like. I get it. It's cool. You hate me. Obviously, if you don't like the stream, you hate me. That's the only valid reason. What I want to do for this next section here is I want this part here to be like really dark. I think it could look super cool if we do some like dark framing and give that cool contrast that'll make it feel a bit more unique compared to the buildings that we'll have around here otherwise. So we do this and throw in a little bit of like spruce up here to get like super dark. We can go with some dark oak shells for the top, even more dark, and a darking in dark, and add some dark with our dark. I hope y'all like dark because we've got dark. With our dark, you know, we needed some dark. But then for the walls themselves, I want to do some brown wool. So, you know, we go super flammable. From not flammable at all to now super flammable. And we're going to have that as a window too, because I think it would feel very flat otherwise. Oop. Look out, thank you for the biddies. I think wool isn't that flammable. No, it's definitely not flammable at all. It's a scam. Anybody who tells you wool is flammable is lying. They're part of Big Stone. They don't want you to use wool. It's true. There we go. Any tips on how to be a better builder? I suck. Ethan, you got it. I believe you've been asking tips for a while. I think you just need to give it a shot. Give some time to practice. See what you can do. See where you're at right now. And I believe in you. I think you can do it, my dude. I got faith in you. I think if you sit down and honestly try and just build for a little while, I think you'd be surprised. You can make something pretty cool. What would you use to symbolize bolts? I was like, we could do just like chains. I don't think that looks very cool. I'm tempted. What do I need? Mangrove root.
We had a white wood with pale oak, gonna have gray wood with poplar in the upcoming drop. We now need black wood.
Close enough. Frenchman, I'm so with you, dude. I think we need a dark gray wood and we need a black wood. That'd be cool. And then we also need a green, a blue, and a purple. Bolts, like bolts for the crossbow. For a big, it's like an arrow. I'm part of Big Stone. He's lying. Wool is so flammable. My headphones getting all tangled up. Would love to have greenwood. Yeah. I remember when mangrove got announced, people were like itching that it would be green. And I'm really happy that we got mangrove as its color. I think it's fantastic. And I also think a green would have been really cool. Actually, we'll make it the city colors. All of our banners in the city are that color. You see the big flags right there. So we'll keep that. That looks pretty good for a little front guy here. I would like to take you and do that. Not a big fan of this transition here just because it feels pretty flat, but I think I'm going to leave it for now, and then if we want to change it later, we can. Blue is the only wood. I'm not sure exactly what they could do for that. For purple, there's like purple heartwood, and black there's ebony and such. Yeah, Hades, it's a really good thing that we don't already have giant mushroom trees with warped wood and crimson wood in the game. Because, you know, this right here is definitely, like, these are very natural, realistic colors of wood that exist out in the real world for sure. I love the crimson tree IRL. It's one of my favorites, so we definitely can't go and... It's just... No, I think green, blue, and purple can easily come if they make an end update. You just have trees that exist in the end that are those colors, and you just aim up something fancy, and then it's fine. So there's definitely options for it. They're not like hard restricted on it. It's just gonna come down to what they think is gonna be the best option. You like that? I don't know if I do. Let's do a little like that. Maybe that needs to be mud. I do like this little palette. It feels very goofy, but I think it actually works out fairly well. throw a little dark oak fence in on the corner of this. Or take it down too on that side, but I can't because of the slab. How's it going? It's going, Grandma. Wood brick. Wood and brick could be dyeable like wool / terracotta. Yeah. That would be pretty fun if we could dye bricks. That would be a cool change. Now that they have I think decorative pots should be able to be dyed for sure. Okay, one thing I want to try here that I think could turn out really cool is if we grab these with some of our glass and extend it out. It looks a little wonky from the sides, but when you get that, it doesn't really add too much though. Never mind. I like it here where we do get that extra little jut out happening. I think that looks nice, but I don't know any other shape where it looks decent. Let's try maybe a light gray glass will work a little bit better. It might honestly be even worse. Never mind. It's worse. Never mind. We're not going to make glass happen. Stop trying to make glass happen. It's such a stupid idea. Who even thought that'd be cool? Pottery sherds could also be like cloned like armor trims. I'm so surprised you can't clone a sherd. How are sherds not able to be cloned? I don't get that. That one has never made sense to me. Okay, so what we're gonna do in here is what do we use for the gradient for these? I think it goes terracotta into all of this, and then we have, oh, I wanted to keep those. We kind of have like a this of sorts through. Okay, for the castle itself, I'm thinking at the top here we can do a little bit of our texturing to get some highlighted spaces in. I like the idea of keeping the red that we have in here. I think it's pretty fun, and we could just do a little something like this maybe that gives us a highlight in here. Then that we can bring back in to change to our terracotta, which then that can go into our brick and our granite as it's going to be moving around. And then those can fade back into our mud, and this is how we're going to kind of blend ourselves back into that tube coral and everything, is the mud can go into a light gray terracotta. And then that can jump out to our coral. And I think that's actually a pretty decent texturing in there. JVM, thanks for stopping by. You have going all right? And no worries if you got to run. I'm not sure exactly where we're going to be using a whole lot of these highlights, because I think like even like this here is just going to be a little bit of jungle. The highlights can tend to be overpowering, and we really don't want that. We want them to be very, very particular about where they are. Like here, we probably won't have any of our coral or anything on this face. It'll just be a little of this. Yeah, I like that coming together. I think with the very, very bright red of the, or very saturated red, I should say, that we have up on top of that, I think that actually looks pretty cool for the castle. How'd you do the waterfall? We spent a stream a while doing that. Also, I did add a few geysers underneath it. Somebody asked that earlier. But we have blue glass going all the way down to whites and light grays and everything, and then back to a little bit of blue, kind of painting in a waterfall instead of, and then also making the area behind a little bit of diorite for whitewash, and then having the darker blocks with our deep slides and everything helps it all kind of pop out a touch more. It was pretty fun. I want to do more of those. Yeah, that'll work. You ever try to use build stone techniques or builds? I don't really like leg stone too much, no. It looks... build stone is one of those things that, like, I'm always like, it looks fine. And then I'm never interested in actually applying it to my world. Honestly, the big thing taking me away from Buildstone is that I create enough lag in my Minecraft world as is. I don't need a new mechanic to just add more lag to my world. That is the entire truth of it, is that, like, it's cool and my world lag enough already. I don't need anything else causing any more lag in here. I can generate all the lag I need myself. I do. I don't need any help on that. I am good enough at it myself. It's no worries. Lag for the lag god. Exactly. That's how we should think about Minecraft. I think a cool detail we could add in here just to get a little additional contrast is for these top arches. It should add a decent amount, but we can just add in a few of these dark oak buttons. And I think that might actually help a bit. Yeah, I kind of like that. I think that's fun. Buildstone helps put life in your world, but your lore does that already. Yeah, I don't need Buildstone to bring my Minecraft bases to life. It's great for people who want to use it, and I think there's some cool implementations of it. Like I love the like geese that Mumbo has and all that sort of stuff. I think it's pretty cool. And it's not something I need. The backside here, I'm kind of debating on just leaving it pretty blank for now, and we'll put walls in because I don't know what we would do. And if we did just a window, somebody could just like hop in and out of it. So I think this back end, it's not just me being lazy and not finishing the back of a build, okay? It's for the lore of the world and the usability of this castle of not getting any amount of sunshine back there that I can't build there. We just have to do a flat, plain wall. No detail allowed, because if we do any detail, it breaks the immersion. You got that? Great. Excellent. Glad we could go over that. Speaking of breaking the immersion, I feel like I want to do like a little like window situations in here. We can get a little bit of granite maybe at the bottom. It's gonna kind of faceify it, but I think that's okay to faceify it. Oh no, I meant to bam and bam. It's off-centered though, so it's fine. It won't be too facey. Let's just, no, that's gray glass. I'll just boop, 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 boop. And then behind those, because we can add in a little bit more detail to it, we can just boop, 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 boop. Whoop. It's a surprise Pikachu face. Don't. Y'all are just ruining everything I build today. That's what it is. We've made a lot of progress here. I think it's starting to come together. I like it. I think. Maybe. We'll keep keeping on with thing and hope that thing makes itself look nice eventually. blue is perfect. You should keep it. Yeah. You're so right, Liz. We should keep that. The blue or the cyan? Like, do we keep the cyan or do we keep the blue? Okay, but actually though, no joke. We could. I've been seeing some folks do this recently, where you just come in and you take a little teensy tiny little bit of light blue terracotta and you just mix it in with the packed mud areas, and it actually looks pretty good from a distance. So let's honestly see where it goes, because a little bit of blue in here could potentially help make the reds pop out even more. So I know you're joking around, but what? Oh, oops. What if it actually works?
Pleased to meet you.
61 months.
See, like when you get back here
graduate at the end
and
of
you
the
get
year, which
so
will mean
far
that
away
I've
that you
watched your
can't even
content
understand
from
what you're
high
looking
school
at,
all the
it
way
looks
through
good.
college fWhip pug.
Blooded Eyes, thank you for the 61 months. Oof, you've been around for a long time. Congrats on almost finishing up college. That's huge. Congratulations. So excited for you. Like, I don't hate it. Because if we were to take color picker into you, see, it does get into those, which I don't really want to delve into that, but we could kind of, we'll leave it in for now. Ugh. Does it make sense to have another ship stoplight in the tall tower? Probably realistically, yes, but I was like, what is going on here? No, that was just me trying to figure out a top of a tower. I don't know if I really want to do it. Maybe it would make more sense to have one up here instead of down there, like having this tower having the light on it instead of being down at water level. So maybe we do a light up here instead of our bird face thing. We have a second light. And if I power that, just turns that one on. Okay. If I power this. Is there any way to power both of these? From behind this? I mean, we could just shelf it. Give ourselves an extra block of space to build with. And then if I... No, this is literally what I just tried doing. Well, wait, if I do this with a redstone dust on top. Aha! We've done it. We have a second light. So now this, we just need to wire up to this button. Because yes, it is flipstone of its finest categories. So this, I believe, can be turned. Can I send a signal down here? I can. Haha! I am a professional. You can send a signal under a slab. How do I make signal go straight up? Hello. I'm no longer a professional. I require assistance. Is there a way I can make a signal just go straight up here? I could just observer it. No, because an observer will send 2 ticks through. A torch tower? Ugh, y'all. I think I know what that means. Actually, I think I do. So now, I think we did it. I think we did it. So now, if I press this, everything's off. Why are you here? You're ruining everything. Sorry. Ignore the creeper. Aha! Just torch with block above it, torch on. Did I just do like a super expensive version of a torch tower? Ah, you're so right.
I'm ahead to bed. Enjoy all the fWhip shenanigans.
Frenchman, thanks for hanging. You have a good one. Okay, that honestly is just less resources too, so I broke it. Okay, now if I click this button, what did I do now? Oh. No, I need that on. Now if I click this button, yes. Okay, there we go. We click that and then it comes on and then they go off. Yes, we've redstoned. We've redstoned with the best of them. Whipstone accomplishes so much. Okay, that then solves the issue of no longer needing our little smoke guy. So that's kind of fun. Redstone professional, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. I'll be here all day. Signing autographs and all that. No, I will not be. Oh, sorry, big stretch. Oh, man. Okay.
Keep it real.
I bet the torch tower is going to be fun to commentate once the respective video comes out. Smiley face emoji.
Yeah, we'll see how that goes. We'll see. No, Levine, thank you so much for the dono. I appreciate you. I like a darker towers. I think. What do we do for the top of this tower? Sandstone and birch. Yeah, we could do that. It's got like a mud brick trimmer in it. Okay, yeah. What's the purpose of the fire was to be able to get smoke so it'd be taller so the signal could be seen more easily from the harbor. But now that we got light and light, we should be fine without need of torch. Next up, I want to tackle this tower here and see what we can make. And I'm thinking we can just start with going around of adding our mud brick in to give that little
Pleased to
trim.
meet you.
What would you have with a grumpy cow and sheep? A bad mood teehee. BRRRRRBRRRRRRR happy 52
Oh, Yentls,
months.
it was so close. It was so close.
BRRRRRRRS.
Thank you so much for the dono. I hope you're doing, or thank you for the 52 months. I really appreciate it. I hope you're doing well today. Minus your Lego addiction I saw you were talking about earlier. I feel like of all addictions though, Lego was probably as expensive as many other addictions, but hey, it's a good one. I would do a little bit like this coming in here. I think this will look fine. Honestly, what I'm thinking at the top is a little bit of oak. Make it even a touch darker. Yeah, that looks all right. I think I want for the windows here, because this is mostly just going to be a decorative space. I don't really care about making it functional all that much. I think we're going to make the windows a little under two blocks tall. So they're going to be like a, what's this, like a 1.7 or something, or a 1.5? It's a little bit more than 1.5, because 1.5 would be without the trapdoor at the bottom, but I think something like that actually looks kind of nice. And we will take some trapdoors to the outside here, just to make it look like it could theoretically be closed. And then we'll grab some ladders. I like throwing ladders in for details underneath windows. I think it looks kind of nice, so we will do that. And then we can take some probably spruce fences, because I don't want them to be too dark. What did we do up there? I did do spruce fences, but I only brought it to there. And then it looks like I actually did like a spruce button detail around this space. We did a lot of really cool detail bits when we were building the Foliage University that I want to try and channel some of that back into here. But it's been so long since I built that, it's like hard for my brain to remember exactly what we were doing. Thought for a second the tower was a witch. It's a witch! A witch? A sandwich? Oh, Stam. Happy birthday. Everybody say happy birthday to Stam. I saw you're making your own cake. Or I saw you're making a cake. I hope it's a good one. Stam trying to be all cool though and have his birthday a week before my birthday. The heck, Stam? I reserved early August for my birthday. I already got to share it with Grian, and now I got to share it with you too. Ugh. I'm just kidding. Happy birthday. Hope you're having a good day. You reserved early August. All right, I better not be hearing from you next week then. Next thing, Bars is gonna come out and be like, "Hey guys, it's my birthday too." I'm like, "You already took my name."
Happy birth stomp with a fWhip hoo woo.
What was that? Anima, thank you so much for the biddies. I do only birthday week, not month. Okay, cool. Then we're no issues there then. Nah, I'm just kidding. Happy birthday. Hope you get up to something fun. Kind of a wacky texturing job. I kind of like it. Not gonna lie. I kind of like that, mostly because it really fades behind the building when we get into those grays. But the reason why I was stacking up all this stuff at the bottom is that I actually wanted it to pop out a touch more. Now, I know that's going to kind of be a problem because it's going to come to there, so we're literally just going to put a full block. And I don't care. It'll just give it a little extra presence when you come around the corner. Not that it's really going to change all that much, but it'll give us something. Yeah. That looks pretty good. What else do we do to that tower? Yeah, there's so many buttons. I really liked my button detailing, apparently. Wait, fWhip, when is your birthday? Mine is August 10th. I turned 21 this year. Mine is August 9th. You're so young. No, I'm kidding. I'm turning 32. So you are so young. Mine was Saturday a week ago, but I didn't say anything. Kiwi, happy birthday. Yeah, my birthday is this coming Sunday. But I will probably do a birthday live stream on Monday, which I don't know what that means other than I title something birthday stream, and we probably are still going to do some creative building or something. Because I don't know what else I'll do. But that all being said, is yeah, we're going on a hike this weekend, which would be a good time. And then we're probably just gonna be chilling on my actual birthday.
Pleased to meet you.
Amisha, thank you so much for the tier 1. Really appreciate becoming a member. Thank you. Mine was 29th. My birthday gift was getting hacked on Discord and losing everything. That was fun. Ooh, how'd you get hacked? What link did you click? How many free V-Bucks did they promise? Are the scams still V-Bucks? I don't know much about the scam community nowadays. It's Hypixel ranks most of the time. Yeah, remember, friends, rules are don't share your age in chat. I know. My bad. I brought up birthdays. I will own that. My bad. But the reason being is that if you do share your age in chat and you happen to be under 13 years old, per YouTube and Twitch terms of service, we have to actually remove you. Whether you are joking or not, you will be banned. So we've just made it a no ages in chat rule so that we're not making it complicated.
Pleased to meet you.
Been
Yeah,
a
blame
lot longer,
Stam.
but haven't been around cause of health issues. You should put a cow in the trebuchet a la Monty Python.
Matt, thank you so much for the 9 months. That'd make a bit. If we get a cow to actually stay in there, that could be funny. Hope you're doing well. Hopefully you're on the positive end of the health issues and all that stuff. But thank you for the support. I really do appreciate it. And absolutely no pressure if you gotta go handle life stuff. Take care of yourself first. Good to have you whenever you're able to stop by, though.
Pleased to meet you.
Fat.
Arapacero, thank you for the 30 months of... YouTube friends, we just hit 10,000 people. We're at 670 likes. So you can do your little hand movement thingy, and then you can go click the like button. Dude, so we were at the Mariners game yesterday. Baseball, for those who are not U.S. sports peoples. And before the game, it's always... I love that they do it, but they always bring a bunch of kids out onto the field, and they, like, run to their little different base positions, and they're, like... The youngest one was 6, and the oldest one was 12, and I love it for them. They're having the time of their life. But they stay there, and then they get announced on the Jumbotron with their name, what school, or where they're from, and all that blah, 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 and it's really adorable. And every single one of the kids, like, gets, like, they all, like, plan out their little dance moves and things, and oh my god, the number of kids yesterday that get on the Jumbotron, and they're just... It's so funny. They just stand there, and there's... It's so good. You're from Seattle? Yeah. Seattle born and raised. We will do this, and we will do this. Okay, the castle's really starting to come together. I'm pretty happy with this. We need our blue tower to no longer be blue, and other than that, I think we've got the exterior of the castle. Just kidding, need that. I think otherwise we've got the exterior of the castle finished. Just do a little of this in here. Oh, a little teeny tiny bit of red. Cool. The Z fighting. I know. I don't know why it's doing that. It's been doing... Like, I don't have a custom texture for iron bars anymore. But they do it also on, like, a full block. It's really weird. Iron bars have been Z fighting in the recent updates. Unless it's something that I did, I feel like it's like, this is just a full block. Look at the Z fighting. Why is it Z fighting? I don't know why it's Z fighting. Before becoming content creator was your dream job, I really wanted to work in the gaming industry. I really wanted to be a level designer for stuff like World of Warcrafts, and my ideal dream job before the YouTube thing happened was I wanted to be somebody who made raid boss fights in World of Warcraft. And then as I started getting more into the creative design side, and then my dream job shifted to, I really, really wanted to be somebody who designed questing zones for an MMO. And then that style of creating worlds and things has very much stayed true for me the entirety of the YouTube journey, just off of purely how we do things on the channel and how I build things is very much spaces for people to go get lost in and explore. That I would say is like my desire as a creator these days, is design spaces for people to get lost in. Oh, we missed a widow guy right there. And I feel like we do a pretty good job of that. Well, this definitely needs to be filled in here. know this goes into that other wall. No, it actually doesn't. So we can just delete all that. Actually, we can just come up here and just slap some terracotta in for that. Underneath here, yeah, that's just gonna stay as is. I don't really care too much about getting this to be like full perfect for the interior itself. I don't know if I will design an interior for this space, or if I'll have somebody else design the interior for me, or if we'll just literally leave it and say there's no interior for it. I don't know. For now, I know that I can get rid of these. We can do a little bit of cleaning. Oh. No, you're waterlogged. You're fine. There's so much in here that needs to be cleaned up. It's kind of crazy. Oh, nope, that needs to... Boop, boop. Well, actually, do that. That, I hate leaving just open edges in there, so we'll at least bring that down to mix it in a little bit better. Oh, you are currently floating. You are also floating. You're not floating. That's lovely. You don't need to be there. And this in here, we can extrude. Get rid of all of these. And there's a lot in here that can still be cleaned up, but at least that's some progress for now. I think you missed a block in there. Did we? I don't know. Well, that can definitely be cleaned up. This can honestly just be turned to grass. You can't exist like that. Those are those little light blue terracottas that we threw in because why not? This is all something that in here can just be erased. Glad we caught that now, because otherwise I would have never noticed it. Cool. Would you look at that? Okay, we need to texture the roofs of the castle. They're still just plain old deep slate right now. And then we need to add some banners and things around. And then we can probably call this one complete. And we'll go work on that little house right next to it. What mod use that gives you this like close-up foggy bits? It's called Atmospherics. Gotta go. Time for my annual performance eval. Oof. Brooke, you got it. Just all right. I am the best ever. This place would burn down without me. End eval. I will not be taking any questions on this. Probably don't do that. Actually, would very much recommend nobody does that on a performance eval ever. I mean, unless you don't want to work that any longer, then why not have fun? What are they going to do? Fire you? Oh, I love pale moss, dude. It's such a good block to be able to detail with. Man, it's such a good one. I really want to put a tree here. I think we could throw a little tree in. What type of little tree do we want to throw in? I feel like a pine tree of sorts could be kind of fun. Just even like, what about this guy? Is he too tall? I mean, technically we are in peace times. So having a taller tree in here could kind of signify that they're just like, yeah, we don't really care anymore. So we're just going to let this little tree grow up. He does kind of, he kind of perfectly blocks the harbor light. So maybe we can't do the tree there. What if he goes down here? Then he blocks the lower light. No, he still blocks both of them. Never mind. He's too tall. Can't do him. A big oak. No, we can't have a big oak tree. We could have a little oak tree. Oh, that's funny. He like perfectly blocked it. What about this little guy? When you get out here, you can see that light. And you can still see the one in the city. Totally fine. And yeah, I kind of like him. I think he'll fit. I've been really loving spamming ferns around for my landscapes recently for the foliage. Just getting these like lines of big just blobs of them. And then around the ferns, you add in a little bit of bush to kind of blur it out. And then we can come back in at a few points where there were ferns that we might think are too many ferns right next to each other. And we can just add a few things of tall grass. I think ferns definitely are a better too tall bush than grass, but they look fine still. And then we're probably going to want a glow lichen or two in here just to spawn proof it, because that's a little bit of a nasty place to be. So we'll do that. That'll spawn proof all that, and then we can just dot a few of these guys around. I don't love the idea of spawn proofing like everything in the city. I think these natural sections. Oh, you can place glow lichen on leaves? I never tried that. Or how did I not know that? I probably did. I just forgot. Yeah, I don't want to do like everything, but honestly, the areas where things can kind of crawl in from, I think is worth it. So maybe just like to here. Yeah, that'll be okay. Oh, we still need to do like the outdoor decor up here too. Well, we actually have a lot to do up here, so that's fine. Currently, we have deep slate tile as the main block in this space, and we can have that gravitating towards the lighter, going with our deep slate brick into our cobble deep slate, and we can also have it going darker into our blackstone and our polished blackstone brick. So we can kind of have these work both ways and just decide if the roof is going to be one that's going to be leaning to the lighter side, or if it's going to be one that's going to lean a little bit darker like this. I think that extra bits of contrast in here could be kind of nice. It's like this diagonal one, I think he goes a little bit lighter. This little guy. That. there. We probably want to bring these bars in so that stays consistent across this line. And no, I don't like him. He's too tall. So it's okay. Over here, I'm kind of thinking this one leans a little bit darker. We'll have the main big roof be one that leans to the lighter side. I think this kind of coming into here. Ooh. Yeah, we gotta fix that. Boop. Honestly, even this could just have a little touch up here at the top where we kind of have it do a little both. Because why not both? This roof up here, I think it looks fine as is. I was gonna say we could break it up with a little window or two in it. So we could try if we did there. And what if we count in 3 from that side? We could try a little bam, 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 bam. And then we could also try this. Then we can take a shelf. Bam, bam. And we could get some too tall guys that are super skinny. And these. Deep slate. And just come out to here. And then that can kind of be a bam and a bam. And then we can go back to our little trapdoor. And then that can come back into here with a tile. Yeah, I think that actually looks pretty okay. Game designer here, do you have a tip to world building? I mean, telling little stories, not telling little stories within your main stories is the best way to go about world building, in my opinion. Is there, for something to exist, there has to be context for it to exist. The context doesn't need to be some grand, massive scale thing. It doesn't need to be talking about some absurd war or whatever happening in there, but context needs to exist. I'll do this. Bring it up back in here. So if you're trying to get into the world building side, I feel like, I don't know, that's where I would start looking, especially for the game design side, is players want something that makes sense. And the way it can make sense is by not making any sense. That's also a thing, but then it has to have a through line of why it made sense, why it will eventually be the way that it is. It doesn't have to be explained right away. You don't have to overload people with context. If anything, subtle game design, I think, is the best way to go about it, in my opinion, from somebody who's never been a game designer but has played many, many games. Game designers that can pull off telling stories and showcasing how things might exist and happen in a world without telling it in any words, I think is some of the really cool stuff. One that I was playing recently that I think is like an excellent job of that like subtle game design side is Elden Ring. Because if you think about it, Elden Ring, you spawn into this game where you do get a little bit of like a cinematic cutscene when you're getting in there. So there is like a little bit of storytelling, a little bit, but it doesn't really tell you too much about the game other than this world got destroyed and this world is insanely messed up. That's basically all the cutscene tells you in it. And then you spawn in to Elden Ring and you are already dead. You are dead when you spawn into Elden Ring. Your character like comes back alive, and then you start the game. Like that's the start of Elden Ring. But the reason why that works super well is then you exit that point, and if you're new to those games, if you're new to like the FromSoft Dark Souls-esque games and all that type of stuff, you're going to leave that point and you're going to walk forward. You're going to fight one enemy. You're probably going to beat them.
Day and feel like donating.
And then you go past that one enemy and you challenge basically what is the equivalent of like a mid-game boss. Well, you have no armor, no gear, nothing. You're just weak as heck. And if you're new to a FromSoft game, you're going to get absolutely wrecked. Like, you're just dead. You're instantly dead right off the bat. And that reinforces the storytelling element of like, oh yeah, no, you were brought back to life. And it shows you how that function works. And it shows you like the ashes and everything and whatnot bringing you alive again. And I think that is like such a cool way of showcasing it without really telling the player, oh yeah, if you die, you'll just respawn. No, they just have you face some boss that is just going to absolutely kick your butt. And then you're like, oh, hey, I'm back alive. And then it's like, oh, here's your grave. You can go get it if you want. And that's how you get your resources back. So I think that way of doing storytelling is really, really cool. In my opinion, I think they do like a great job of it. In a way that's like really, really subtle. And being able to like showcase something without like screaming at somebody that it's the way it is. Bart, thank you so much for the dono. And then also after that you get to the point right there where you come back alive, and aren't you just like looking right at the Erd tree? Like, don't you just like spawn in next and you just see like giant magical tree, which was a lot of inspiration for this tree. Actually, I think I decided to build this tree before Elden Ring released. I don't, maybe because I decided I wanted to build this when God of War released on PC finally. That's when I came up with the idea for this guy. I can't remember which came out first. But anyways, I would say that's kind of fun game design things from my side that I try and bring into like my Minecraft builds is how can I go about having that level of subtle storytelling of what can I share that will encourage people to want to look into things further without like screaming at people that this is the way the thing is, you know, if that makes sense. Hopefully. Was that helpful? Was the rant good? Have you thought of making a crash course video on how to design good trees in Minecraft? I have a few on my second channel. They're older. I also have a lot of older tree design videos on my channel just in general.
Any advice to wannabe Realms map makers? I know you haven't done any, but you are a really good builder. Also, it doesn't hurt to ask.
I think a lot of the same stuff. Realms maps are all based around a gameplay loop, storytelling, making engaging content. I don't know too much about Realms and how maps get put on there and all those things, but I think making an engaging, customized experience that you can only get in that space that is worth either paying the money for a realm or whatever is big. Like, I see a lot of those, like the National Geographic ones where you can get all the custom animals in your realm and that type of stuff. Like, those are the ones that stand out to me as cool. So I feel like in the way that my uneducated side looks at realms, the ones that I would see as being really successful are the ones that are using Minecraft data packs to the extreme. I think in order to make a really cool realm map, you have to be very, very good with creating data packs in a way that still feels vanilla-ish. Or not even vanilla at all. But yeah, I would say if you want to get into it, look into doing stuff like that. Why is this so straight? Much better. That'll do. Honestly, I think that's gonna do it for the castle here. I think this actually turned out really, really good. I like this a lot. Oh, I can't wait to add this into the game. I forgot a door. That's cool. This is gonna be really, really fun to add into the world. I think this is gonna be a really fun one. I'm okay with this being kind of meh in here. We could Do like a little like lever game in there. Ooh, we didn't do the city banner. I know people have been saying we need one of those in here. Let me see. If I were to just clone this guy. Boom. Boom. Can we slap him on anywhere that like would make sense? He's kind of big is the problem, but I really like this banner. Yeah, he could just be hanging there. Kind of do that. We could have one that's like also down here, but we have it lifted out a block. Would that look stupid if it's like extended? I think it actually looks okay. Yeah. Oh, hang from the battlements. Yeah, that's not a bad idea. Because then it also doesn't goof up the walls. Have you built a pulley system for the gate? No. We don't really have space for one. Yeah. I like it. I like it a lot. For something that I didn't really know what it was going to look like in here and was really kind of coming up blank with it, I think this actually turned out really cool. The hunt for small drip leaf will continue forever and ever and ever and ever and ever. I did find a wandering trader this morning that traded small drip leaf though, so you know we had big come ups. Maybe add something like a tiny cave. I don't know if I really want to, I'll be honest. I don't know if I'm really interested in a tiny cave here. I do like some of the pale moss having some green on it though. I think that looks kind of nice. Back here though, because it's like super moist. We have like a decent amount of sugar cane. It's like growing off of all that. I really got to get back to actually like getting this foliage stuff updated and put in game. We really got to get around to doing this. What's your plans for the rest of the river / canal leading out to the ocean from here? We need to retexture all of the rocks that I've made. That whole section needs to be built out. But I did come through and remask and texture all these a while ago, so we just need to design and build them out. I think I do want to come back in manually and darken the shadows and the crevices, like for a little like that, so it gets a bit more contrasty before we actually do it. So I think that's one that needs to be done. But I want to make the river edge a lot more like these pockets of trees, where we have a little pocket here, a little pocket there, some along here, pretty open along this, so we can I wanted it to be pretty forested along the edges. But we've got this all in on this side. I love this is going to stay wide open, so I think that'll be really cool. We got to still implement this mountain foliage along the entire edge here. I think a boat coming up going into town could be really cool. And then we need to just carry along this river foliage detail. Like, I want the entire edge eventually to look like some element of this going along, and then pockets of trees throughout. So this whole section needs to be redone still. We've done all that. All of this, yeah, this whole like edge here is completely untouched. This from like there over needs to be redone, so none of that's been done yet. And then I want to do like a little town right here. I think a town here could be really cool. And it'll be right next to where our rain device is too, which would be kind of fun. Yeah, it's definitely more of a fort than a castle. But there's probably some general or somebody who's going to call it home. But this segment is sponsored by Foliage University. True. Honestly, if they ever make a way to bone meal small drip leaf, I think that could be so funny. And to create small drip leaf, if that ever gets added to Minecraft, that would be such a funny way to use the university and have like some crazy research thing going on, and then be like, we've done it. The life work of the Foliage University has been completed. Small drip leaf for everyone. We are subsidizing public small drip leaf access. Free for everybody. Looks like a Duke lives in it. Yeah, there could be a Duke living in here. That's probably pretty on par. I've been in Germany for the past 4 weeks studying, but recently took a train up to Rhine. It was so beautiful. You need to add smaller holdings like manor houses in their villages. Yeah. I literally would build little manors and villages and stuff throughout this entire world constantly, but YouTube only wants to see so many of those so often, so I have to hold back every once in a while from my obsession with building little tiny hamlets and villages. But I think I'm getting that itch to make a village in like a medieval style. That's like a little farming village of some sorts. I just need to give it like a reason to exist. Maybe it doesn't even need a reason to exist. Oh, hello. I just need a way to like structure the video that'll be interesting. That's the part that I'm currently stuck on. Which, to be honest... Nope, I don't want that there. I think I could probably... Oh, I have so many lily pads now too, by the way. So excited. I could probably structure the video. I think I got a decent idea of what I could do. Because I feel like a lot of people like to make villages in their Minecraft worlds. I mean, granted, this is my stream community, so it's a little different. But villages is currently winning 39% of the vote. Granted, the options weren't really all that generalized. And I feel like Minecrafters do love building villages. Especially if you can like do it based around an actual Minecraft village and transform it. People seem to really love those. Just gets the people going, you know? Okay, that's good to know that I have not run that command yet on this mountain. So I definitely need to do that. Did I? I thought I did. Yeah, I did. I just missed this corner, I guess. Yep, we always appreciate videos with village transformations to get us hyped up to do the same in our own worlds. Yeah, true. Why not a pig farm? We actually don't have a pig farm in this world. No, I do have little pig farms. I don't have like a giant pig farm, but we got like little pig pens around the world, like this guy. He's been here forever. This is the pig spa. They love it. They're part of my mushroom farm because those are my truffle hunters. My prized truffle hunting pigs. They did it again. That's looking pretty good. That's a pretty fine entrance into the city, if I do say so myself. I do declare. Especially, you already know there's so many quests. There's so many quest markers over there to do. Look at that thing. Look at that thing! And you just designed a wax farm in Tough Hall, but what about a bee farm more for aesthetic? You don't... I don't believe you already have one. I don't think we do, Cowlord. A really fun dungeon that definitely doesn't have a bunch of carnivorous mushrooms. It's really good wallpaper. Yeah, if we were to get rid of all of the once path is complete, like complete, I think I'm gonna actually make like a wallpaper like pack and release it on Patreon of just like a bunch of screenshots of like really cool aesthetic screenshots of this region for people to be able to check out and like download and all that stuff. Or I might just release it public for free. I don't know. I feel like that's weird charging for that. But I feel like there's a lot of really fun screenshots that we can get throughout here. So I'll probably just post a ton of them somewhere. I'm gonna be milking path for weeks. Oh, I think it crashed. Nope, didn't. Best believe the Instagram posts are gonna be everywhere. Why is this like lagging? But every time I'm like switching bars, weird. Boom, 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 boom. Flip, you should make a path-inspired mouse mat. I actually did have somebody reach out a while ago about doing a mouse mat. What was that company that was doing them? Those like Epic Desks, whatever it was. I ended up talking with Tango about it because he was still doing it. This was like years ago. But I talked to Tango. I'd reached out to him, and he was super nice about it. And I ended up deciding to not move forward with it at the time. And the main reason was through actually my conversation with Tango. He was super helpful about it. He was like, yeah, dude, like it's been great for me. He was like, but I don't know if I would recommend anybody else work with the company right now that's doing them, not because of bad quality or anything, but he was like, if you think about it, for how many people, like you buy a desk mat, like a mouse mat pad, whatever that you're using, and you're going to keep that for years. Like you're not really at a point where you're going to be buying them often. So he was like, if you get people, he was like, if you got in early like I did, then you sell a lot and you do really well. But if you get in later and you get more towards like the tail end of this, same with people who are doing the makeshift plushies and whatnot, like I got in towards pretty tail end of their initial hype, so a lot of people had already like bought a few plushies, so they're like, I don't really want to store more, and so I ended up not, because of my conversation with him. And I don't know, I feel weird like doing that, mostly for that same conversation still, of being like, I don't know if people would be that interested. So I think like the core community definitely would still be interested. Like I don't ever really worry about that when it comes to things, but it's more just like getting something that I could release that would appeal to like a mass audience, I think is the part that is harder to do sometimes. What will you do after Path? Oh, we've got plenty of projects in this world. I don't know about the sign. Maybe, oh geez, hello. Ooh, I kind of like that. That looks a little bit better. Even doing like a little double. Yeah, I kind of like that. I need to get some windows. Oh. Gonna waste so many to be able to get that, but it's worth it. The consistency. Have you heard of Dukon Red 1? Have I heard of Dukon Red 1? Yeah, dude, he was the guy who told me to start a YouTube channel. I haven't talked to Dukon for a while. I talked to him about a year ago, probably, when he made like his initial return back to YouTube. Maybe 2 years ago at this point. But yeah, no, Dukon was the whole reason. He was a really good friend of mine back in the day. He was the whole reason I even started my channel. We were working, I was helping to develop the Conquest Reforged mod back in the day. And he was kind of like our main YouTuber face of all of it. And he was like, yo, fWhip, you should start a channel and make videos. Do boats need a lighthouse or a water gateway to enter Path? I don't know if a lighthouse would be up here. It'd probably be smart to have like some signal fires. Maybe it'd be smart to have like a little fire here. because that they're both gonna go different ways. It's probably smart so people aren't drifting and hitting the shore. Let's put a little note down here. Signal for boats, question mark. Maybe a small city that never recovered from a war in the past, like a dilapidated city. That could be kind of fun. Bonfires along the flow of the river. Yeah, probably something simple like that would be good. That's something we didn't do in the castle that I just now realized. I didn't put any like lanterns or anything in any of these spaces. They're definitely going to have more lantern lighting instead of whatchamacallit. So we'll just do like that. That'll be fine. Oh, actually, we have a little lantern there. Whatever. That's okay. I'm going to have extra light. It's going to be so lit, dude. Get a little glow lichen up here. All of that spawn proof, all of that. Can I just do perfect? Those are blocked because the candles on them. Space I'm a little worried about is back here, but no, they couldn't climb over the roof. Okay, that's fine. What I will do though, just so we can like blur it ever so slightly, I think just a little foliage here to kind of mask where it's all coming together at. Might be kind of nice. Just darkens it ever so slightly too. Yeah, I think that's good. Are you gonna start on a new medieval kingdom after you finish Bath? Or you're gonna create a fantasy kingdom like Tough Hall? I want to do. I want Tough Hall or Dwarven outdoors or above ground Dwarven civilization to be make some progress. I want New Papyrus, our Dwarven, or not our Dwarven, our desert civilization that needs to be expanded on big time. I have a Mediterranean civilization that we've kind of touched on briefly that so far is literally just 2 structures and a ruined castle. So like there's a little bit here, but I want this whole village to be like Mediterranean farming village. So I want that to expand. I'm kind of itching to get back to our solar punky inspired Greek, somewhat another mixed up place that we have here, and that's going to expand to these islands. That could be kind of fun. We've talked about doing an Asian inspired space down in here, but that's outside the wall, so that's banned for now. What else do we have going on? Eventually there's going to be like a Nordic civilization up here in the snow, but that's a long way out because we got a lot of things to do. We've got a big shrine that we're going to throw in here, a big monastery of sorts. We got all of our mountains that need to be built. We got our new guys up in the swamp. We got these guys, our goofy little weird house hut thingies. These can definitely be expanded upon. That's honestly just a lot of foliage that's needed up there, which is difficult. Do you explore Minecraft Middle Earth for inspiration? I haven't ever been on the Minecraft Middle Earth server, but I've been on Artacraft a few times. I think they do a better job for the build style that I exist in. I think Minecraft Middle Earth does a great job for like simple Minecraft builds that look like things, but I think Artocraft does a better job of making builds that really feel like they could be real. They're also using Conquest Reforged mod, so it's a little biased in that way of they just have the ability to make things look extra insane, where you don't have that when you're playing with the Minecraft Middle Earth pack, I believe. But yeah, so I've been on Artocraft a few times. It's been years since I was last on there. Minecraft Middle Earth is cool, but I think Artocraft does a better job, in my opinion. Is it 240? My wife messaged me yet? No, she has not. This is why I want poplar wood. Be so much better right there than the spruce. It's fine. I know this building is very basic, but I literally want it to be so simple. I want this building here to be so simple, so it doesn't take anything away from the castle. Nope, there is actually no stoner block in Minecraft, contrary to popular belief. Yeah, I like that. I was trying to think of something to add there. It needed a little color differential. I'm really excited to see the Nordic and the Asian inspired builds. Yeah, it's probably going to be a while before we go that. Volcanic Islands would look great, to be honest. I've always wanted to make a Hawaiian island. Very much like a tropical volcanic island. Create an Alaskan inspired place like Beans and Apples are building, mainly since they're building an Alaskan coast right now. Beans and Apples, I don't know if they're building anything Alaskan inspired. I think they kind of stay in the California and Oregon, Washington, like West Coast inspiration. But Zay did some Alaskan inspired stuff recently, so you could check out what they got going on. But I could be cool one day. One day. Alaska's pretty purty. Just a few mountain ranges to get through first. Ooh, a chimney's a good call. We also don't have any chimneys on the castle. Huh. Let's just dot a few in real quick. That one. That'll be that guy. Actually, he's a block too tall, I think. We would just take this whole bitch. Boop. That looks better. Maybe because he's smaller, we'll just do. Boop. How dare I forget the chimneys? I know, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I forgot my leg machines. It's just gonna be a little smoke poofing out behind. Pot. Actually, that doesn't need to be even that big. You can literally just be like there. I guess that's the detail we could add back here. I like to do 2 diagonal campfires in here, so it's just a little bit down on the particles compared to having 4 campfires, but it still like feels pretty full. I think it actually looks fairly nice. Get a little something like that. Okay, that fixed it up now. I can't believe I forgot my chimneys. So sorry, will you all ever forgive me? Well, that house is also done. That means this whole section here is done. Woo. We can put our exclamation mark at it, and it is ready to go into survival. Just like that, it'll be there in like 2 minutes. Just kidding. Do shells add to lag? I feel like if they have items in them, I don't know. They don't seem to do that much. Why are they hanging exclamation points? Because I have quests to complete. Now, I use a method for city planning in this world where it's very, very hard to look at a city out here and be like, oh, dude, what do I still have left to do? So I designed those carts recently. I decided to put them in there randomly. I didn't remember that they're in there. I designed that tower a few months ago. I don't know if it's on survival or not. Maybe some of these houses, like we had this whole district came in a bit ago. This actually I did this morning, so I can get rid of this now. Boop, boop, boop. I did that in survival world this morning, so it's gone. Anyways, I use a system where I have exclamation points. We have multiple concrete colors. I usually have orange, yellow, and lime. And if you see an orange one, it means that there's either something in the game that needs to be changed or tweaked, like that right over there. I want to do that, or it'll be like, oh, I want to change something in creative and then do it. Basically, this means like, hey, big thing to change, or maybe it's already in the world and we just need to redo it. Yellow here means that it is still a work in progress in creative and that I still need to complete it. So aka all of these that are just outlined with concrete, or that one that we just swapped over with the red and the tuff and the dead corals over there, that was yellow until we just finished it and turned it to lime. And once something here is marked with lime, like a show, that means it is actually ready to go into survival. So everything that I have planned out for it in creative is done and dusted. It's fully finished up. It's got its chimneys, it's got its texturing, it's got its spawn proofing done, all of that fancy stuff, and it is ready to be moved into survival. So what that means is for the harbor progress here, you can see we have a lot of yellow down there because none of those are finished, but everything now on this side is actually marked with our lime. So if I wanted to, I could build all of this in survival and it's done. I don't have to worry about, oh, I'm going to change things. I'm going to do this and this and this. And it's just a way for my brain to more easily conceptualize and see what I still have left to do. And then once it's in the survival world and it's done, we delete the exclamation point, and then you get a city like this that has no exclamation points over it because everything inside the walls is now finished. So planting markers for the hardcore world in the creative world. Yes, basically. Is this the same creative world you've had since the start? Do you refresh to the survival copy all the time? It's a mix of both. Is texturing on the roof you did the last chimney on? Did I really? I thought I did it. Oh, I did miss texturing on the back here. You're so right. Wow, that's awkward. Thank you. There we go. Now it's finished. That needs to be a short. Yeah, we're trying to ramp them up. We're gonna see what other ones we can find and do things with, and just have some fun checking out different things. The last short seems to be aging pretty well, which is cool. I don't know where I was gonna go look at it, but the last short we made, the market one, it's at 53,000 views, so it's like catching up. It started as a 10 out of 10 and it's up to a 7 out of 10. So we'll see. But my goal is to keep up with, I'm doing a lot more shorts as we move forward. I like this. I think this is pretty cool. I'm just taking a minute to let it breathe. I think this is also like an important part of building in Minecraft, is that as you make something, you can't just instantly jump to the next thing. Sometimes you just gotta kind of sit and stare at what you worked on and just see if you actually like it or not. That's kind of what I'm doing right now. It's like in here. Yeah, I think that helps. It adds a little triangle to the top. And then this can also get that. Yeah. That does feel really cool coming around the corner here. You come out here and you can work on the water wheel. You can do all your little chores and you're just looking at that across the way. It's beautiful. I know I said it was too big, but no, it's pretty good. I think the scale's pretty decent. They definitely want something fortified and built up with some walls so that they're like above any boats coming across. I feel like that side, I'm not too worried about it being too over the top. Do that so that it kind of has a little bit more fortification to it. I kind of forgot that we did this line and I was standing here and I was like, wait, what is that? Oh, right, our iron bars. Our ship stoppers. Wait, is that the same height? That's 3 blocks up. That's 2 blocks up. Now it's the same height. It's fine. Well, actually, let's do this. There we go. Now it looks a little bit like it's kind of built up back underground or something instead of just the thing. Any advice for those building a mountain by hand? Spiderweb. No, the spiderweb style is my biggest suggestion. Okay, sorry. Wife is messaging me. She had to go into the office today. So we're talking about when we're gonna meet up, go to the gym. We've been gym broing together. I think it's push day today, if I remember correctly. Anyways, spiderweb style. What I meant by that, I said spiderweb style and I didn't actually explain it. Okay. Where can we goof around real quick and do something? So, spiderweb style. When it comes to landscaping, what I would recommend is doing the spiderweb. If you want to do it by hand, this is the best way to do it. If you start with a single block and you basically say, we are going to make it steep up to here, and then maybe it's going to level out and it's come back up this way. Maybe it gets steep again, because why not? You got some rolling hills that gradually get larger, and then you get something over to here where you enter the lighting glitch. Woohoo! You're like, cool, that's a great first line. What the heck do I do now? And then you come over this way and you're like, bam, 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 bam. And I want to say this one is going to come all the way to like here. And we're starting a mountain. Woohoo! Super cool. And now we're up here. It's a little bit higher. We got a height differentiation. How do we make these come together? Well, we just draw a line. And this, you just kind of randomly placing your blocks. I'm not being too methodical about how I'm doing this. And oh no, this line came up higher. I guess we then raised this one up. And now we have our new peak here. Woohoo! We've got our first section of our spider web. You got your line there, you got your line there. And the way this actually spider webs itself together is by adding connecting lines. If you think about a spider web, it's a bunch of lines that come into the middle that then get tied together. So this is going to come over here and you're just going to build them up. Keep referencing, oh, it's up there. Okay, maybe I need to go a little bit higher here. We've got our shape coming in, and bam, that'll bring us in close enough. Now we're getting a little bit more shape to our mountain here. And what you can see at this point is maybe if we're drawing lines from here all the way up there, it's not going to be super effective anymore. So instead, I'm going to say this guy and that guy, instead of just coming like straight across there, we could maybe bring this out to this point, and then you can start to bring this into one of the other lines. I'm going to try and connect it into like right there. And you kind of get more shapes coming in, right? And then at this point, you then just kind of split these sections in half again. You do a little bit more like a so. Maybe this is kind of starting to shape out in here, so we start to fill in a little bit of those. And at this point, you're like, okay, now we can start to add in these little teeny tiny baby lines where you're basically taking every single shape that you have so far and you're just dividing it up to being as small as you can possibly make it. And then you just spam and fill in the blocks. So we get something a little like that. And then from here, you can kind of see, oh yeah, this is kind of starting to shape like a mountain. And yeah, looks decent. Maybe at this point you bring this out, you can kind of start these lines in here, and then you just keep filling in the gaps. So you just kind of have all these spots, and then in here you're like, okay, this is kind of coming together. Maybe I try and avoid, one big rule I avoid here is anytime it's stair stepping up 4 blocks at a time, I personally try and break that up to have it going at least like a 1-1 and then like a 2, and then you can go back to your 1, but then you need like a 2 again. I think that just starts to look a little artificial unless you're working on a really, really, really grand smoothed out slope. It's impossible to avoid it in some cases, but when you're doing like smaller survival based landscapes, a lot of times you can, it just looks a little artificial. And this way you don't have to worry about doing the backside. Correct. Except spider webs are circle, are full all the way around, so. Yeah, so now we literally just come back in and we spam blocks until we get something that we like. And you end up with little sections like that. Just randomly by hand throw it in there and you get little bits, and it starts to look together. It starts to look like it's coming together. At first it's going to be super, super weird, but then it's going to be very, very helpful as you keep it moving. Isn't there an upside down stair missing on the front when you're at the river of the castle? I'll go look. But yeah, so you kind of get to some spaces like this. I feel like when I find myself starting to just like, oh, I'm just stacking across, that's when I come back in and I'm like, all right, this space is too wide, where I'm starting to get these flat lines in. Let's take another line to the top as much as I can, and wherever it comes in is then we've got a new shape and we've got a new cutout in here. So then like this, maybe these guys start to come into there, and that starts to add this a little bit more interesting. And I also try and avoid this if I can. I just think it looks a little weird when you get it that flat. And you can see we've got our broken rule here. So we'll just go ahead and turn that in there, and it helps it kind of smooth itself out a touch more. And we'll fill in this whole section here, and I'll show you kind of what a finalized version looks like. You can also, if you don't want to go flat across the edges, another way that works out fairly well is you just kind of trace along one of the existing lines that you've done to try and make the line a little bit wider. And then as that develops itself, it'll start to just fill in spaces as you're moving. And then anywhere that gets like super, super flat as you're moving. So if you just keep going like this, and we're like, okay, we just got like one more in here. Let's just bump that up. And any like accidental mistakes and things, you can kind of just clean up as you're going. But there you go. You get something like this. Looks pretty smooth. Obviously, if you're doing it in survival, don't use yellow concrete. You probably want to just make it all out of stone or whatever your main primary block of your mountain is going to be, because then you just come back and texture it later, or you don't texture it at all. Let's say this kind of like flattens out. I think this is a method that really very much benefits from just spamming placing blocks in. And then as you move, you're just like, okay, I actually didn't like that. I want to remove that, blah, blah, blah. We can change these up. So you kind of get here, and I think that actually looks pretty good. And then you can like see from this side, we got mountain shape coming into it, and I think it looks pretty nice. And then from there, the other big thing that you do, we'll just grab some green concrete for now. So you can see this, but if you come back in, you basically just find some of these flatter spots and just start covering these up with some grass or concrete or whatever you're going to use for it. And you can start to get that variation to it. Little spots like this where it's super flat, maybe a little bit of grass is growing or something, I think it's kind of nice. And then if you have any overhangs like this, I tend to not have hanging grass, but maybe you have a little bit like working down into there. That could be kind of sick. Same with these little bits. I just, for some reason, really don't like the look of the overhang of a grass on top of a stone. It's like that and that. I probably would change these out to being stone. But then you get into here, and then from there, it's just kind of into the shading, which is a whole nother thing. But yeah, if you want to learn how to make giant rocks in survival by hand, that's literally the method that I did for years before I got into using tools like Axiom. This is, yeah, there's our snowball. There's our snowball of things. Okay. What are you doing? We were mountaining. Let's grab all that and delete. Grab all that, delete, 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 delete. We're not going to use any of that. Thanks. Yeah, Luca, no worries. Hopefully that helps. Good luck. Anyways, I think I've got to run because I'm going to go meet my wife at the gym in about 45 minutes, and I need to go take care of the doggies and all that stuff. It's not usually on me doing the afternoon dog walks and all that, but she had to go into the office today, so now it is my job, and it's so sad. I think next creative stream, it might be boat time. I don't want a boat, but I feel like we've kind of committed to doing everything on this section, and I feel like we need to boat before we get into there. Tiny programmer, look up underground grottos, like overgrown underground grottos, and you might be able to get some ideas. Think of like some trees and a lot of lush stuff all over the place, like plants and things. But anyways, thank you so much for being here, everybody. I really do appreciate it. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Do you ever make a new creative copy, and so how often? Not really. I kind of use the same one. I pull plops of landscapes out of other copies and move it into the main creative one. That's more how I've been doing it recently, but sometimes I'll make custom ones, or I'll make new ones. Bodie McBoat block, exactly. I will have a boat block there. But thank you so much for being here, my friends. I really, really do appreciate it. Y'all have a lovely rest of your day. Why do you guys got little flowers next to your name? What are little flowers next to your name? What the heck is that? What's a blossom badge? The heck is a blossom badge? What's a bloom badge? Blossom badge? What the heck is this? It's our badges for hanging out here a lot. You nerds, go get a life. I appreciate y'all. Thank you so much for being here. I'm just kidding. Y'all are welcome here whenever you want to come and hang out. Who's live that we know? Wow. I'm kidding. Thank y'all so much for the support. Hope you have a lovely rest of your Mondays and good vibes to come for this week. We'll be back on Wednesday most likely, but with that, my friends, I'll catch you on the flip side. Bye.